Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Rockwood. This is their part number RM5652-10-1-626 is what this is. So this is a pair of pole handles. This happens to be a back-to-back set. So if we were looking at a single pole, it would be not unlike this. These two cone head bolts would come out, and then there would be the mounting type, type 1, type 12, whatever mount type that you wanted. This happens to be set up at a type 5, where it's back-to-back. These bolts that are in there now, they will come out. They won't be used for anything. These are the bolts for an 1 3/4 thick door. So this is a pair of pull handles back-to-back. Let's take some basic dimensional properties of the material. Each pole weighs about 1.2 pounds. So the 10-inch, that's going to be the center to center. Okay, that's your 10-inch. The projection from the face of the door to the inside of the pole looks like it's about 1 3/4. The absolute projection looks like it's about 2 3/4, but to the pole itself looks like it's closer to 2 5/8. The overall length, nice to know what that is. It's probably in the range of 13, 12 and a half inch would be my guess. Not even close. 11 3/4. Yeah, about 11 3/4 overall length on this. This is shown in the 626 finish. Admittedly, to me, this looks more like 619 satin nickel. But this was ordered as 626. This is what they shipped, 626. Okay, priced and sold per pole. Now, where are you going to use those? Let's talk about that right now. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. Now, where are you going to use a pole like this rope style pole? Well, somewhere where you want something decorative. This material was sent to a 5-star type resort that is all over the globe. Has 2 locations here in Naples, Florida. You could research that if you wanted. And you're going to use these on all kinds of doors. Doors with exit devices where you need a pull handle on the outside. You're dogging the devices down. Every sort of aspect. Residential, something where you, an application where you want a traditional type of look. In fact, the whole Palm Beach area of Florida is, ridden through with traditional types of look like this. You're going to see these poles all over the place. It's nice that Rockwood still offers this traditional material. Admittedly, we don't sell them very often, is the bottom line. So, no hard and fast rules as to where you would use this, but it's a nice looking set of poles, that's for sure. Now, let's dissect what that part number means, and I think the way to do that is to look at the screenshot, the screen view supporting documentation. This is a Type 5. Type 5 is going to have these 2 cone bolts. They're going to have and you'll need set screws. Now, those part numbers. And I mention it because people buy these bolts. The bolt is an SP1025. That is going to be standard for an 1 3/4 thick door. We stock these, and you can order these in other lengths. You've got a really thin door, you've got a 6-inch door. We can order those. The set screws, I believe, are SP1024s. Let me look at that. There are 2 set screws. They have standard and then short. SP1024. I'm thinking it's a 1064. Nope. Neither of those. SP1026. So the set screw is an SP1026. Sooner or later you might need to buy those bolts. If this is a very high traffic application, you know that there's going to be lots of volume on the door, and some of it might be bordering on abusive. I might suggest that you order a couple of bolts now because you'll likely end up needing them. And for that matter, you can order this with different mounting types, which we will explore. We're going to explore the part number. This is an RM5652. The -10 we know is center to center. The -1 is something special. Up here, we'll talk about that. And then the -626 is the finish. So it's that -1 that we have to explain. So let's switch to the screen view and let's dive into that. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. Okay, let's take a look at this item that we have here. RM5652-10-1. So let's do a search for RM5652-10. You're going to see a couple of pages of different center to centers, or maybe not. Looks like it's all -10. Yeah, okay, so it's all -10, but you're seeing different numbers behind the -10. So -1626. So let's figure out what that's all about. Well, I happen to know what it's all about. It's all about what the finials look like. Product brochure, let's click on that. See what this tells us. Oh yeah, here we go. Right on. Button tip, or plain. Urn tip, berry tip, and probably acorn, or pine cone they call that. Pine cone. So that's what your different numbers mean. That's neat. That's going to allow you to make those poles look, it's a little pixelated, but this is the factory catalog. 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. Yeah, they're not in order. 1, 2, 3, 4. This page is nice because it will allow you to look at the other ways that these poles can be put together in terms of center to center dimension and whether or not they include base plates. So the 5652 does not include a base plate, and that's what that base plate looks like right there. So if you wanted the model with the base plate, it'd be a 5662, up to 36-inch available. We don't have them listed. We just list what's called out, but should you want a 5652 in a 30-inch overall length with a 24-inch center to center, whatever, let us know. We'll have the factory quoted. Because, you know, this material is just tube stock. And then these parts are probably cast brass, and they're assembling the material if they're cutting this brass tube stock. Would be my guess. I've never been to the Rockwood factory, but I do plan on going someday and seeing how it's all done. So there is mounting details. Let's dive into that. These are the mounting details that are listed as available. So type 1 would be typical. This is the way that this video is showing type 5. And then on type 5 you can do different door thicknesses. Type 13 is back-to-back for glass. Up to 1/2 inch. Oh, pardon me, 5/8 they say. If your glass is unusual, like you're doing a shower door, you can still do these. You're just going to need shorter bolts, but you'll want to order it with a glass application because that's going to give you the neoprene bushing and plastic washers. You're going to absolutely need that. So there's a bushing that goes in the hole, which you probably have to cut, but indicate the door thickness and maybe the factory will supply it, and then plastic washers so that you insulate the metal from the glass. Then at that point, if you have an unusual door thickness, you'll want to specify that. 3/8 glass. You know, the factory will accommodate that. Type 15 is a glass application with a decorative handle. Concealed, if you're doing a wood or aluminum application. You can, you know, the concealed you can do in wood applications. It's just not listed here. I think that's a type 8. They can also do riv nut installations where you don't, if you don't have a reinforced door that you can't drill and tap into, you want a riv nut most likely. Also, they can do HD versions, which go from 1/4 to 5/16. If you have higher volume, immediately go to the HD version. Don't order the standard. We sell the standard size bolts every single week. All right, now there's a printable cut sheet. That's probably the same document, well, similar, what we just looked at. These are finishes that they have listed here. This is an older document. Today they can certainly do, well, they're indicating powder coated oil rub bronze equivalent here, but they can powder coat black, they can powder coat white. I don't know that you'd want to powder coat this, but you could. Whatever the designer's looking for, whatever the owner wants, they can powder coat this material, that I know. Now, let's also take a look. Extended description information. Before we get to that, let's look at our images. There's the label showing us it's a 5652, 10, and a 1. Door thickness 1.75. BTB. That's back to back. That's a Type 5, even though it doesn't tell you if it's 5 or 5 HD. There's your pull handles. Put together, push together, back to back. And then just different perspectives to allow you to see it. Good shot of that Type 1 plain tip. Does look more satin chrome in the image with the light hitting it, as it does here as well. But to the naked eye, to me, it looks more satin nickel. If you were doing a custom pull on a refrigerator, like a whoever the name of custom refrigerators are, the high-end refrigerators, and that's in there, that's just there to hold the stuff together, would be my guess. That SP10, whatever it is, 10-26, I'm not sure. A hole has been crossbored and tapped for the set screw. Dab of thread lock that's on there. If you don't have any thread lock on there, you're going to want to add some. Okay, now we've gone through all of the images and that cut sheet. Now, below this video, the extended description. Create a unique pull by combining 5 grip styles, 4 finial styles. Grips are 3/4 with 6-inch center, 1-inch diameter, 10-inch center. Appropriately sized or proportional finials. Standard lengths are shown. Custom lengths can be done. Base plates for an extra decorative feature. These traditional styles incorporate our commercial quality mounting systems that will endure heavy traffic. Classic rope. Finial plane, 1-inch diameter, 10-inch center to center. Projection, they give us at 2 11/16. No base plates. Satin chrome plated over brass. That pull handle is not a solid bar of brass. Custom lengths available. Okay, let's wrap up this video on camera. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. So in conclusion, if you have any questions on the RM5652 or any other Rockwood product, please feel free to reach out to us. I would be happy to help answer any questions. If I can't, Rockwood is amazing in terms of their tech support. In fact, you rarely need to get back past customer service to ask a tech support question. It's amazing how I can ask questions that would otherwise go to engineering or tech support. And the person who answers the phone, they must have worked the floor in the shop. They must have had training that other trim and auxiliary manufacturers do not give their people. I'm quite partial when it comes to Rockwood, and it's because they keep it simple. They're prompt, reliable, predictable, dependable, economical, extreme broad range of products. And if it's not in their catalog and you need something and it's similar to what they already make, they will make it for you. I've had them make lots of different custom plates for me, like pieces of architectural metal, so thick, so wide, tall, different finishes, holes drilled where I needed them. Lots of reasons like that they've been able to help me out. So any questions on the RM5652 or any other Rockwood product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.